They're 28 meters from me, all on the right. They're all in this little house on the right.
I see.
Movement!
Enemy recon drone in your area.
One down, upstairs. I see two more people.
Throw C4 in that window.
Setting explosive.
He-res. Fuck.
Shit off.
One more.
Let's go. Full
Easy.
team.
Dude, that shotgun is nuts.
It's so much fun. I just killed a whole team with it. What is up, True Game Data fam? This is Unforgiven here. I'm going to bring you another video today about my favorite loadouts. This is going to be the second episode. Today I'm going to be talking about the R9-0 Dragon's Breath and the Grau, a little bit about the M13, and a little bit about the M4. I'm going to walk you through why this is currently my favorite loadout in the game. Go through the stats, explain the attachments, why I choose what I choose, and then I'll show some gameplay. It's not going to be a full game like it was last time. I'm just going to show some clips that will hopefully show why I like this build so much. Yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the Dragon's Breath shotgun, because that's kind of what the whole build is centered around. So this is the new R9 Dragon's Breath. I just run choke, sentry barrel. Both of those are just to tighten up the pellet spread. 5 milliwatt laser, so my hip fire spread is tighter. Dragon's Breath, and then sleight of hand. You could run different underbarrels if you wanted to, like if you wanted some extra recoil control. In general, you don't really need that, but it does help your follow-up shot be on the exact same spot as your first shot. You don't actually always need that, but every now and then it might be nice to have. So if you want to swap out sleight of hand for that, you could. I find that I don't really need sleight of hand almost ever, it seems like. It's kind of a nice to have, but it's never been like, I've never felt like it really saved me in a fight, but it is really nice to have just in case you need it. This is the most fun I've had playing Modern Warfare in recent months, is using this Dragon's Breath shotgun with the Grau or the M13. It's just been an absolute blast. I'm not afraid to push anymore. I was getting to the point with the MP5 where I just felt like I was losing a lot of those fights, and currently with the Dragon's Breath shotgun, I feel like I win these all the time. So, in my opinion of the Origin 12 versus the R9 Dragon's Breath, I think the Origin 12 is more forgiving. If you don't kill them with those first two shots on the Dragon's Breath, then obviously the Origin's going to be better, because there's that big time gap between the second and the third shot. But, on the other hand, so many people are running the Origin right now, and the R9 Dragon's Breath, or the R9 regular, is the only thing that can beat an Origin, because they both take 2 shots to kill. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but it's inside about 10 meters. They both take 2 shots to kill, but you can get those 2 shots off way faster with the R9. So if you come up against an Origin, you want an R9. Unless there's some certain range where maybe the Origin would win again, maybe out like, I don't know, 10 to 15 meters or something like that. Maybe the Origin would win because you wouldn't 2-shot them with the R9. But in general, when I'm running a shotgun, I'm trying to get in people's faces. And somebody running an Origin is trying to do the same, because they're expecting me to be right in front of them. They're trying to push. They're not expecting an R9 right now. So if they have an Origin, you have an R9, you win that. I mean, I win those all the time, and it's the only gun that can do that. So that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. Also, it just blows people up, which is fun. Alright, so then to complement the shotgun, you kind of need something that's an all-round gun. So you need something that's good past about 15, 20 meters, where the Dragon's Breath is no longer going to be good at all. Or, I mean, it can't even hit people out past, I think, like 27 or 28 meters. So it's pretty bad from about, I'd say, like 17 or 18 meters out to that range where it can't even hit anymore. So anything outside that range, you need a gun that's decent. And I get frustrated when I try to run a fast TTK weapon like a Ram 7 with this shotgun. The Ram 7's really good up close. It's really good inside 50, 60 meters, but a lot of the engagements in Warzone are past that. And in my Kar 98 build video, the Kar 98's job was to take up that 50, 60 meters plus range. But in this build, you have a shotgun, so you don't have anything for those ranges. So that's why I like to run a Grau or an M13 or a Kilo as my all-round gun for this to complement the shotgun. So this is the standard Grau that I've been running. Obviously this is just the meta Grau from a couple seasons ago, but the logic here is the Grau has the best iron sights of the Kilo, the M4, and the M13. Like, by far, Archangel iron sights are amazing, and that's one of those huge intangible pluses about this gun, that there's no stat that says this gun has amazing iron sights. It's just something that makes the gun feel great and doesn't actually have a stat for. So that's the reason I switched to the Grau. I was using the M13 a ton, and the M13 was a blast. It's an absolute laser, and I was running the same exact build with the M13, longest barrel, monolithic suppressor, commando foregrip, 60 round mag, and tac laser, and it was fun, and it worked really well, but I just didn't. I mean, the iron sights were okay, but they're just not. They don't even come close to the Archangel iron sights. The amount of view you have with the Archangel, I mean, this is one of the reasons this gun was so dominant in its meta, is just because the iron sight's so good, because you could use this tac laser instead of an optic. So I'm kind of coming back to this gun for that, just because it's so accurate, and it's TTK's. It's okay up close. It's going to get beaten by a Kilo. It's going to get beaten by an M4 if they hit all their shots. That's another thing I want to talk about. I feel like this gun, for me personally, this is going to vary from person to person, but for me personally, this gun is like 10 times more accurate than the M4. Way easier for me to control than the M4. I don't know why, but it just feels way more accurate. It feels about like the M13, which feels like just a laser beam to me. So there's a few different builds of the Grau you could use. You could do a monolithic suppressor. You could do a tactical suppressor instead of monolithic if you wanted slightly better ADS times. Not a big difference, but it is better. And then also the Nexus barrel. If you are okay with the Nexus barrel irons, which I still think are better than the M4 irons. They're not as good as the Archangel, not even close. But I still think they're quite a bit better than the M4, M13, and Kilo irons. So it's a valid option here. This really speeds up your ADS time and does not hurt your range very much at all, dropping down to the Nexus barrel from the Archangel. You could stick with the monolithic, or if you wanted to go even faster ADS, you could go tactical suppressor. This would be a really good all-around Grau. And I'll show you in the stats here in a second when we hop into that how this changes the ADS going to the Nexus barrel. Alright, so now I'm going to hop into the stats here. I'm going to compare, first of all, those two Graus I was just mentioning. So one Grau has Archangel monolithic suppressor, which is Grau number 1 on this table, and then Grau number 2 is Nexus barrel with tactical suppressor. So you can see right off the bat, yeah, you're going to get some more range with the Archangel and monolithic, of course, but the ADS time difference is massive between these two loadouts, between these two setups. I mean, that's huge. That's 30% different there. So that's like a crazy reduction in ADS time there to make the Grau. I mean, this is such a snappy number. 226 is getting close to like SMG numbers. Movement speed, yeah, your movement speed's a little faster with the Nexus barrel rather than the Archangel. Recoil is very, very similar. I mean, these two barrels don't really feel any different to me on recoil. Bullet velocity, you're going to lose 200 meters per second bullet velocity. It's about 20%, which is significant. But again, if you're going for something that's better up close, it's worth it to drop to that second Grau. Then if you hop over to the TTK chart, you can see what that difference in range percentage does here. So you lose about 6 meters on your first drop off going to the Nexus barrel with the tactical suppressor, but again, it's not that huge of a deal because that's not what we're going for. We're going for something that's still decent at range, but is very snappy, so it's very good up close. So if you add in ADS time, the amount of time it takes to ADS into the TTK, which sometimes it should be 100% included. If you both see each other, you both have to ADS, then yeah, you should include ADS time in your TTK. So you can see that Nexus barrel makes this Grau, the Grau with the Nexus barrel, just significantly faster TTK than the Grau with the Archangel barrel. Inside 42 meters, the Nexus barrel is going to destroy an Archangel barrel. But again, you have that intangible benefit with the Archangel of better iron sights. I still think the irons in the Nexus are okay, like I said, but the Archangel is undeniably the king of iron sights. Alright, so now I'm going to compare. So I recently just started using the Grau. I was using the M13, like I said, before that. Having a blast with the M13, but then I just kind of thought about it one day and I realized maybe the Grau would be a better choice. Mostly because the iron sights are so much better. The M13 iron sights are okay, but the Grau's iron sights are just top tier. So I'm going to compare these two now and show you the differences. So looking at the table first of all, ADS times on the M13 are a little bit better. Not hugely, but it's significant. I mean, 20 milliseconds is not insignificant. Grau has better reload time, better movement speed, better ADS movement speed. As far as how easy they are to control, they're similar to me. M13 might be just a touch more accurate for me with iron sights, but again, that's only if I can see my target. And the Grau has such good iron sights that you can always see your target, and it has such a thin middle post that even at 100 meters, you can still easily track a target with it. TTK wise, the M13 is a little bit worse than the Grau, just slightly, out to 47.7 meters. With these two builds, these are both just long range builds that I run. And then the M13 takes it from there, but not by a ton. It starts to have a significant difference out at 75 meters, which is a long shot. I mean, at that point, yeah, the M13 is quite a bit better, but you're going to be using so much ammo at that range that another thing you should think about when you're building these guns is ammo efficiency. So that's what this damage per mag data section of the website is about. This is like an ammo efficiency. Shows you how much total damage you can do with one magazine. So the M13 shoots faster, but has the same mag size, so its total damage per mag is lower by a decent amount, 10%-ish, 10 or 15%. So that's something to think about. The M13 is a great gun though, and you can actually take the commando foregrip off and replace it with an optic if you don't like the irons. I did that a lot too. I think that's a solid build. But you just need to keep that tac laser on there because it just helps with ADS time so much, and that's just imperative in a build that's complementing a shotgun, so you can still be effective, you know, in the 15 to 25 meter range. Like, you don't want to run a slow kilo with this build. Like a meta kilo right now, the ADS times would be so high on that compared to these guns that it would get fried by either one of these if it was like a 1v1 situation. So that's why I don't run those kind of guns with these builds. I always get that tac laser on there and try to get my ADS times down. So one last thing I forgot to talk about when I was going over this loadout. Everything's standard with it. As far as perks and lethals and tacticals go, I always run C4, heartbeat, EOD, overkill, but you'll notice that I'm running tracker instead of amped. I pretty much run amped on everything. The only reason I don't with the shotgun is because I'm chasing people around and trying to get so close to them that trackers can be really, really useful in those situations. In general, I always run amped, but yeah, with the shotgun, that's the one time I'll run tracker. Okay, well I think that covers everything I wanted to go over in the video, explaining all my thought processes when I was building out this loadout and trying to pick a good gun to complement the shotgun. It can be tricky because you have a big range of distances you have to cover with your second gun for Warzone. You need something that's pretty good at range and pretty good up close, and accurate throughout, and has quick ADS. So it's kind of tricky. But that's why the Grau is so good. It's because of those irons. You can get the tac laser on there. You can get good ADS times, and it's easy to control. So it really balances out a shotgun nicely. So I would say give it a try. Try out the Nexus barrel too. Don't just use the Archangel. Try the Nexus barrel. It's a really, really good barrel. It's just the iron sights aren't quite as good, so people don't use it as often. But it's a crazy fun loadout. So yeah, just give it a try sometime. Gonna hop into some gameplay now. Show you some clips from some various games. Not very many though. I was trying to keep the video a little shorter this time. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you liked the clips, and thanks for watching.
Wow, I was getting shot from both sides.
Contract failed. You're out of time.
On you.
Let's go.
Team of idiots.
The shotgun is nuts.
That's a team wipe.
Yeah, team wipe.
Oh, damn it. That shot was good too. I'm so sad. Oh, another team.
They're on me.
Pushing you.
Get wrecked.
Hard.
Okay, it's kind of fun. That was an origin that I just killed too.
Cam third person perspective.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you hit him! You hit him!
You toxic son of a bitch.
Oh! How did I not hear him? He was right above me.
Stunned him with the kilo and you got him with the R9.
It's meta, boys.
Oh my god. Holy shit.